Well, yes, a small delay in our broadcast start, but for a good reason. Look at the left side of your screen. Every single playoff driver with the Area Cup Series in 2025 has been highlighted. The ones to watch heading from round to round before we end it all come Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm John Ramos alongside Hunter Sleppy. Welcome to Thunder Valley, where all the drivers have already worked their way onto the racetrack, turning laps. And once again, new update. Here are the overlays. Left side of your screen, you see it. It is awesome how it looks. Shout out to the whole coding team, Andrew Schulte, everyone to work on this whole setup. We've been doing it for the last couple of hours, which is probably why you didn't see too much of the marketing on our end, to make sure it is good to go. Cars on track. Let's bring you to our studios here in Nashville, Tennessee, just for the time being. It's showtime. It's playoff time with the Area Cup Series. No, we do not have the polo on. It's a Jeb Burton, excuse me, I said Jeb. It's a Jeff Burton throwback shirt because who doesn't love retro NASCAR merch? Hunter Sleppy, you seem to be very excited. How are you?
Good. Finally glad we got that out of the way, the little mishap, but excited to get the playoffs going and no better. Oh yeah. Oh, it was interesting to say the least, but glad to come to Bristol Motor Speedway and kick off Season 7 of the Area Cup Series playoffs. Okay,
everyone's going to be wondering and asking, best way to explain it, how do the playoffs work for Area?
So it's similar to how it's like in real life. We have 12 drivers. Each round is 2 races long, except the championship round, which that's the last round. But we eliminate drivers in 4 after 2 races. So the first couple stretches, we have Bristol and Nashville. After Nashville, we go from 12 drivers to 8. And then the same thing happens after Las Vegas and Auto Club. We cut it from 8 to 4. Each round beginning, it's a refresh. So drivers get their points. They get playoff points, bonus points, points that they've already had on the season, and it just kind of resets from there. And you have to be on go mode, because if you have one bad mishap, you're essentially screwed, and you're kind of in a must-win situation. There's no 3-race stretch for you to rely on where you can afford to have a mishap in the first race and then pick it up in the next 2 races. You have to be on go from the time you start to the time you finish, and Bristol is kind of a key point in that because it's a short track. It's very long, grueling process for some of these drivers. And then Nashville is a question that's unknown. Actually, 3 of these 5 playoff races, Nashville, Las Vegas, Auto Club, tracks we haven't been to in quite some time. We haven't been there since Season 6, at least for some of these guys. But Nashville, it's been since Season 3, so that's going to be fun having to watch that go down. However, Bristol tonight, it's I wouldn't say a crapshoot, but I would say it's anyone's game. We've had a different winner each time we've been here from Season 3 to Season 6. Jake Nichols, Cameron Hearn, Jake Matheson, Seth Knoll, a couple of those guys, they're in the hunt for the championship. And looking through at some of their stats right now, they are the only 2 with wins on this track amongst the playoff drivers. John Hall, Dylan Alt, Bailey Turner, Jonathan Evans, none of those guys have made Area Cup starts here, so don't really know what to go off of based on that. Looking through, Connor Horn doesn't have good stats at this track, doesn't have a top 10 finish, neither does Adam Cabot. Michael Cran's only got 1 top 10 to his name. Brandon Bowie doesn't have any top 10s to his name. But James Scioli, he does have top 10s to his name. He's actually got a couple top 5s to his name. He finished runner-up in this race a season ago. He'll be looking to punch his ticket to the next round early on.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about it right now. 12 drivers heading on into Bristol, Thunder Valley. There's a reason we're going from Talladega to Bristol. There's a reason why this schedule looks the way it is. You mentioned Nashville. That's going to be interesting as well, but we've already seen great racing this year out of the intermediates. We saw it at Chicagoland. We saw it at Homestead. That final 3-leg stretch is going to be crucial. Las Vegas Intermediate, Auto Club, at a 2-mile oval, but in a way can race like an intermediate or a super speedway. And then you go to Charlotte Motor Speedway for round 17. I think we have a really great lineup here for the playoffs. But we look at the drivers that are going to be interesting to make it from round to round. Hunter, expand a little bit more on how the rounds work heading into that final race.
So it's the same as it works in real life. Every spot is a point. You can get bonus points for winning the pole, leading the most laps, having a clean car. Although I'm unsure that's going to happen at Bristol because of how small the track is, and usually get about 8 yellows a race, so the chances are you're going to bump into someone at some point, unless you're up front and you have such a fast car that you can just navigate through that lap traffic, although that will be a factor. But it's going to come down to tiebreakers are down by, I believe, finishing results, the better of the two races in the round. And again, you just have to be on all go. Everything is important to a T. Like, you can't afford to have a penalty on pit road or 2x incident points. We've got a number of guys with EOLs and some with drive-thrus. None of the drive-thrus are playoff drivers, but I believe Beckner has an EOL, so that's not going to be good for him, although I don't know. He's not in the playoffs, not for the Cup Series, but it's going to be a factor. The guys are going to the back, and if we get a long green flag run early, lap traffic's going to be a factor. Some of those playoff drivers that are up front, they're going to have to navigate through that, and they're going to have to figure out how to avoid making contact with said traffic.
Okay, from one round to the next, it's going to be very, very interesting. We go from 12 drivers, if I'm not mistaken, 12, 8, 4. It is a final 4 for Charlotte, correct?
Yep.
Bingo, and that's what you need to keep an eye out for. So every couple of races, you're going to see them all cut down. This is where we want to expand. We're a minute away. Let's not go into race picks just yet. We'll see that after qualifying. Who is a driver that you think could be an underdog to make the Final Four versus someone else that is a top dog that could miss it?
Underdog to make the Final Four, looking where he's at in the points. He's had a solid season. I'll go with Jonathan Evans. Evans has had a substantial season to his name. 3 top 5s, 3 top 10s. Seems to have good pace everywhere we go. I was going to say Michael Curran, but he's got 7 top 10s to his name. He's a previous champion, although he is below the cutoff by about 4 points heading into this one. But I like Jonathan Evans, and if Bailey Turner can keep things going in the right direction, he might have a shot at making it to the final round also.
Early talks, early thoughts. I would say underdog-wise, I'm going to go John Hall, even though he is sitting third in points. You don't expect him to be an underdog, but he is coming in through the Truck Series side. Originally, I was going to say Jonathan Evans, feeling pretty bold. I'm going to say the one to miss hot take right here, right now. Give me Payne Howe. I just don't know if he's going to be able to make it to Charlotte with how things have gone. You expect Noel to be a lock. You expect maybe Jake Nichols in as well. James Scioli, the Solar Flare guys. They didn't get off to a great start, but they're hot now. The ones that are not are going to be a little bit interesting as well. Let's get ready to go trackside here from Bristol Motor Speedway as we get ready for round 13 of the Area Cup Series. I'm John Ramos alongside Hunter Sleppy. Let's go ahead and see it all, from the updates and the overlays to the update with the racetrack, and that's something you got to talk about too. Newly looked Bristol here for this race. Miller, Knoll, once again, the drivers highlighted are in the playoffs. Everybody else will not be in the playoffs, but still eligible to go out for wins. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. And Hunter, I think we still have a little bit of time to talk about it as well. What is considered an underdog to you in the playoffs? Because a lot of these drivers, they all seem to be very tight on just pure talent.
Underdog, I look at where they're at in the point standings and how many bonus points they have. I went with Jonathan Evans because he's only got 2 to his name, and he's been up front for a lot of these races. Brandon Bowie, he has none to his name. No bonus points, but he's got 3 top 10s, but hasn't had that race-winning speed to be able to go up there with the front runners. Jonathan Evans has had that speed, and the reason why I didn't say Bailey Turner, I'm looking through, he's only got 1 top 5, and that was, of course, from his win at Daytona. He's got some more top 10s to his name, but I look at Jonathan Evans and I look at what he's been able to do this season. He's led quite a bit of laps. You mentioned the intermediate majority of his laps led came from Chicagoland. If he can continue to keep his finishes in the right direction, he'll have a good chance at making it to the championship floor.
Bingo. Looking at the 7 drivers that have put down a time, 3 of them are already inside the top 5 that are playoff drivers. Josh Cottle goes to the top. You're going to see Justin Anasogak on the racetrack as well. Kenny Brady is back, this time in the Icon 44. Michael Curhan, 24, the Lucky Duck entry, has worked his way around the speedway, putting some laps on the board before getting his initial time. You'll see it this time around. It goes to update 6. Michael Curhan as of this moment. Multiple drivers have entered. Multiple drivers will race. I'm excited to see how this playoff goes. We keep it in Tennessee for the first 2 races. We go out west for round 15 and 16, and in the heart of NASCAR country for the season finale. It has been one heck of a night, or should we say season, for the Area Cup Series. Tanner Betha is on the scene. Connor Horn is on the scene as well in 67. For the NR Night in America fans that are sitting and wondering when we're coming back with it, maybe tomorrow night. No guarantee just yet on when NR Night in America will return, but it could be tomorrow night. We'll give you an update in the Discord and through the community page on how that all goes. Let's go ahead and hear from some drivers, preferably some playoff drivers, before we go racing. Hunter, every time I ask you who we should get, they're never in their call.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to answer it, but I do want to go with James Scioli.
All right, I think James Scioli is always a good one to go ahead and talk to. Solar Flare driver. James, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Are you qualifying here? And if so, do we need to stop talking to you?
I was thinking about going here shortly. Yep, that's the plan.
All right, yeah, you're sitting around kind of waiting. 12 drivers in the playoffs. You want to make it to Charlotte. That's all everyone's talking about. Getting through Bristol is going to be tight. It's going to be tough. It's going to be challenging. How do you do it?
Just all about survival for me, you know, just not taking any big risks today and just kind of going through the motions, just trying to be there at the end, especially just get there with no damage, so.
All right, no damage is going to be important. Interesting how this could work. This is a new rescan of the track. Has it changed at all from what old Bristol was?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. New track, new car. I haven't really driven it enough to figure out exactly what to do. So, yeah, I'm honestly just going to be trying to learn for the first half or so, and then just trying to stay up front. And as I learn and get more comfortable, then start racing towards the end, I think.
We got you on the clock. We'll talk to you later. James Scioli going out now for his qualifying effort. A lot of racing here with the Area Cup Series, area in general, as the playoffs have mostly all started. Adam Cabot, he's someone I want to speak to. He already got his time in. He's 10th. He's now 11th. Cabot, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Playoff time, new sense of energy. The regular season has come to a close. It's now or never from one round to the next. How are you looking at Bristol?
I think I'm looking at it as a huge unknown. I think it's a big unknown for pretty much everyone here. I'm hoping that this reset with this whole new car model, tire model, aero model, I'm hoping this is kind of like a bit of an equalizer heading into the playoffs here, because obviously, you know, we got Seth, Jake, and a couple other guys that I would say are, like, you know, probably the guys to beat. They're the favorites going into this championship. And I put myself kind of just outside that group, and I'm hoping that this is just a big reset, and we're all trying to learn here, and yeah, just try to survive here. I think making it to the round of 8, if nothing crazy happens, should be not easy, but I'm expecting that of myself. Making the Final Four, that's going to be a challenge.
All right, going to be fun to see. What do you want to say to these viewers before warm-ups?
I hope you're getting ready for a good race. I hope we put a good one on for you. It's honestly the viewers' guess as good as ours as to what's going to happen tonight.
Good luck today.
Appreciate it.
That's Adam Cabot. Hunter, a non-playoff driver, is leading us to green, and Josh Cottle picks for today's race.
Ooh, all right. Well, that's a little kink in everything. I still like the 7 of Scioli. I feel like he wants to get the job done. Came up a runner-up. Let's see what we got. I think he's going to want to pull off I shouldn't say the upset, but I think he'll want to pull off being in the victory circle.
All right, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I like the idea of a non-playoff driver going to victory lane today. Give me Cottle starting on the pole, going to victory lane. Could very much see that one happening just with the unknowns of what's to come. Bristol, it's tight. It's going to be treacherous. I think we're going to see a lot of drama. And in less than 4 minutes' time, it will all be coming together. Welcome to round number 13 for the ones that are coming in. If you're wondering why there has not been very much promotion, we've been working on the overlays. Just got back from Detroit. Had a race at Flat Rock Speedway, actually. A lot of you have actually worked your way out to Flat Rock. Very thankful for that. We'll be at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway calling the action this Friday and Saturday. So no NR this Friday. NR Night in America, very possible tomorrow, but still to be determined. All eyes now, Dylan Alt goes quick time in the warm-up session. I like the idea of Josh Cottle going to victory lane. I just think Lucky Duck is due to get another one back. Very much possible. Dylan Alt back in the number 47 for this race. At least from practice and testing, I didn't see a lot of drivers go up to lane 2, Hunter. I think this is going to be inside conveyor belt, unless I could very much be wrong.
It very well could be. I will say, though, with your pick for the pole sitter and Cottle, winner has never come from the pole here. However, last 2 seasons, the winner has come from the front row, so something to look at. As far as cautions go, I mentioned we have 8 yellows a race. We tend to get late yellows. We only have 1 overtime finish, and last season's race, the last yellow came out with about 9 to go.
Oh, okay. Pretty cool. I'll tell you a story. This is not a comparison to you at all. I'll never forget Nashville 2023. I went to the Ally 400, and I was excited. Ross Chastain was on the pole. I said, Ross Chastain's going to win the race. The guy next to me said, he's not winning the race. He's starting on the pole. Ross Chastain won the race. I'm not a betting man, but I kind of have to put my money here on Josh Call. You just don't know what this Tennessee Thunder can go ahead and bring, which makes it so exciting because who knows, right? Now top 3 in warm-ups, all playoff drivers. Nichols, no, and Dylan all line up and get ready to go racing. We're projected 35 drivers to take the green flag. That is more than enough for this high-banked racetrack and Bristol Motor Speedway. We're talking 106 miles, 200 laps. You're not sure about fuel, but the progressive banking at 24 to 28 degrees could put on one heck of a challenge. Is there anything you want to predict, Hunter?
Probably a late yellow and then maybe a big one. I feel like we've been overdue for a big one here at Bristol, but with the way the Cup drivers race, I don't think it'll happen, but it's more of like my long shot. I do think we get to see an overtime finish, though. I will say that.
Yeah, we did see a pretty big one at Talladega there late, which is very interesting when it all kind of rocked together in some of the closing moments of the race. But that's another thing too. Who's going to get bold? Who's going to get brave? Who's going to get overly brave? And will we see non-playoff drivers possibly break in and maybe make some wonders?
Yeah, there is a good chance that a non-playoff driver could upset the playoff drivers and win tonight. That would be huge for anyone that's trying to lock their ticket into the next round, so they don't have to worry too much about going into the next race at Nashville and the unknown with that.
All right, well, just seconds remaining before we go ahead and bring it trackside for the ones filing on in. It's playoff time with the Area Cup Series. Yes, a Jeff Burton throwback shirt. It was a 99 Citgo car. Got this a little while back, just never really wore it. Now I'm starting to wear it because I kind of like the look and how it's all coming together. I have a great crowd watching Back on Ham Monday night action with the Area Cup Series. And we all get ready to grid them on up. 35 drivers. I believe it's the first night race of the year.
Yeah, I believe so as well.
Is the championship going to be at night?
I have not asked that question yet. I'll get some more info on that in a little bit.
That'd be really cool to get a championship or day and night championship. I know this is 200 laps, and 200 laps at Bristol could be interesting, right? Because you could say, oh, this is not going to be that long. It's a half-a-mile track. They're going to knock them out one at a time. Or you could say, we get a couple incidents and we get a couple more incidents. It could be interesting in different ways. We had a race at Flat Rock this Saturday. I said, oh, this is going to be a race under an hour. It's 125 laps, quarter mile. And we started knocking off laps one at a time. Like, it was just go, 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 go. And then ended up being over a 2-hour race with all the cautions we had. So you just never know how this will all play in. Let's get ready to grid them up. Let's go ahead and start with your starting lineup here at Bristol Motor Speedway. To the ones just filing on in, sit back and relax. We're going to let you know where your favorite driver is starting in round number 13 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Road number 1, it's all presented by Central Mobile Homes, Inc. Josh Cottle, Seth Knoll will be leading us to green. Justin Opplinger and John Hall back in row number 2. Jake Nichols and Patrick Moose, that ends up being row number 3 as James Scioli and Payne Howell make up row number 4. Justin Anisogak and Jonathan Evans, row number 5, as just behind them, Bailey Turner and Philip Groner make up row number 6. Adam Cabot and Kenny Brady. Kenny Brady returning in the number 44 in row number 7. Row number 8 into the rear goes Lee Noren after an incident at Talladega. Tanner Betha will be starting right next to him. Connor Horn is shown with Hayden Swank. That is back in row number 9. And row number 10, Michael Curhan. Playoff row number 10 with Brandon Bowie. Row number 11 has David Weishart and Bryce Senesac, with row 12 having Barrett Polimas and Tyler Nichols. Row 13, you get Max Service and Mason Kane, with row 14 being Ed Robertson and Seth Berger. Seth Berger going to the rear. Row 15, Kwame Scott to the rear after an incident in his previous race. This is his first time returning. Garrett Grant will be joining just alongside him. Reese Schaefer and Dylan Alt's got some work to do, starting all the way deep in the field. Row 17, Jeremy Miller and Brett Punkari, before Ben Pierce makes up row 18. So once again, 35 drivers here in Thunder Valley. Bristol Motor Speedway, always a hot topic to see what comes together, what works and what doesn't. A sold-out virtual crowd, as you love to see, as the next-gen stock cars work their way to the high banks. 24 to 28 degrees of thunder. We haven't said it in a while, let's say it now. Those most magical words that we all know: Godspeed, drivers. You are go for throttle up. Two by two, they work their way back to the outside of turns 3 and 4. And you all just want to wait and see how it will all go. Welcome to Bristol. Welcome to the playoffs at the Area Cup Series. Let's light the fuse in Thunder Valley. Seth Knoll off turn 4 will lead lap 1. Traffic jam, front half of the field. Josh Cottle stuck right in the inside lane. Outside lane advantage. John Hall works his way into the second position. Lucky Duck Motorsports gifting a $2 super sticker. Grateful for that. Deeper in the field, you see them starting to shuffle. Connor Horn, Philip Groner, Hayden Swank. Now single file to the inside part of the racetrack. Couple machines in the outside wall. That's Mason Kane, who barrels on to the outside part of the track. You saw Kenny Brady coming off pit road with a drive-through penalty. Heavy damage early on for this 31. And Kane will drop back to 22nd and will believe to be making his way to pit road. So Noel, the race leader, with John Hall, the winner from Homestead, breathing down his neck, looking for a move. And Seth Noel has the most wins on the season already this year. He's able to do great things. 3 poles, 3 wins, 6 top 5s, 10 top 10s. But John Hall says it's my time to shine. Takes the lead from Bristol. Top lane worked, was able to throw it away. Oplinger and Moose, 3rd and 4th. James Scioli into the 7th position. Peyton Howell, Jonathan Evans, and there's Justin Anisogak. Adam Cabot in 12th. Connor Horn in 13th. Hayden Swank back to the 15th position. And it's a never-ending traffic jam. That's what makes it so exciting, so fun to watch racing. Already 11 laps in. Hall, the race leader, not by much. There's Seth Knoll in that 2nd position. Moose has found his way to the bottom. Top side, Jake Nichols. And moving blazing quick. Al in 8th and a Sogak in 9th. Lap 12 out of 200. Then there's Bailey Turner. Turner outside as Anna Sogak dead ahead. Stuck with traffic, stuck with changes, and for the first time tonight, top 3 elect to stay in playoff formation. 1, 2, 3, that is. Scioli back in the 6th position, the next playoff driver. Peyton Howell just behind him. Remember, they talk about playoff points. You want a good finish, you want a good outing. Jonathan Evans, P13. Tyler Nichols, top side. Barrett Polimas, who just had a race in person at Flat Rock Speedway on Saturday. Back on the sim. Ripping top. Bailey Turner in the 9th spot. There's the traffic jam. Has Cabot, Horn, Howell all just clumped together. And you want to watch this area of the Speedway as much as possible. Look at Josh Cottle. Started on pole, has dropped back to 8th. Caution. And it's for Dylan Ault. Playoff driver involved. David Weishart, heavy damage to the nose of the 29. And for the first time tonight, the yellow lights illuminate. Damage on Dylan Ault, there it is. First playoff driver to have some type of an impact. Multi-time winner this year. Got a win at New Hampshire. Got a win at Watkins Glen. And now has to go ahead and bring it to the aid of his team. Let's watch back and see. Now, he was pretty far back from where it seemed to all stem. There's Weishart, him and Hayden Swank. Swank came up, got Weishart. Senesac, Polimas, and Dylan Ault just could not get on the brakes quick enough. And it happened so quickly here at Bristol. 1 second, there's no incident in front of you. Next thing you know, it's on your nose. Watch again. Hunter, you got an update?
Yeah, I have a couple updates. So David Weishart not happy over the racing. I got taken out by a dummy, absolute dummy. Hit me all the way from corner exit and just couldn't get off me. And then I was actually in the channel with Dylan Ault and the rest of the Solid Rock Performance guys, and he said, "I'm done. I'm totaled." But they're still talking about trying to come back out and salvage something. But that's the tough part about the playoffs. Doesn't matter where you're at. If you're in a deep hole early, that's going to put you in must-win scenario for the next week's event. So don't think he's out of it yet. Don't know what the points say, but he's going to have damage for the rest of the night if he continues to run.
A very unfortunate situation. When it happens quickly, you can't make the decisions by thought, more or less off a reaction, and there it came, there it went. We'll probably have to watch the rest of the race and see what happens with the other playoff drivers. Running around in the back, which you don't want to do, including just 22 laps into the first round of the playoffs. Let's try it again for Bristol. One sideways set, no! He's into the inside wall. And two of the most winningest drivers all season with an impact in round one. It doesn't look terrible, but you can see the tattoo on the nose of the Camry. Wow. Can you believe this stuff? From the drop of the green flag, watch again. Seth Moore in the 1. Opplinger in 55. And just spun the rear tires. Oh my goodness. Listen again inside the car. Dylan Alt, Seth Knoll. Days impacted. And that allows John Hall to now line up with Nichols, with Moose just behind him, and Scioli. 26 out of 200. Cottle and Cabot, Swank, Evans, Bowie. Bowie will be up the 12th. Hunter, I mean, we saw it, but what is he saying?
Well, before the race, I was talking with other drivers saying that wheel spin was going to be crucial on restarts, especially where some of these cars are in the middle of the corner and the restart zone. Jake Nichols said that I thought the wheel spin was fine, and then I looked out and saw Seth spinning so fast, I was dying laughing. So Seth knows it. They all know it in Solar Flare, kind of cracking jokes on him, and Seth's going, me and this track. So, fine for now. He'll have a lot of time to get that track position back.
We'll have another opportunity to try it all again. Well, time ticking, deck shuffling. Bet on black, bet on red. You hope it doesn't hit green on the roulette table. Welcome to lap 28 of 200 from Thunder Valley. We're back underway. Clean through 1 and 2. Opplinger outside, Moose inside. James Scioli in the second position. Doing what he can, trying to just keep in front of the two machines behind him. Jake Nichols in third has been crowding the bottom. Not able to make it work. Josh Cottle in fifth. Hal versus Bowie. Battle for 10th. Remember, every single spot's going to matter for all these drivers. When it comes down to points, when it comes down to the rounds. One second, one lane works. The next second, the other one has an advantage. Hall the leader, Scioli in second, no change there. Now the fight for third. Opplinger outside, Bailey Turner thought about following. When John Hall worked his way into Homestead Miami Speedway for the first time this year, everyone was questioning, who's that guy? The guy that did so well in the lower divisions, came to Homestead, made it work late in the race, created a storyline for himself. Still finishing very well throughout the regular season. Doing what he can to get a nice placement in the playoffs. 4 top 5s, 8 top 10s, 1 pole. And comes into Bristol just in the 3rd position, with great odds of making the Final 4. He leads Scioli, who now sits 2 tenths behind. Scioli's an interesting one. No wins, but felt like he should have won a ton. 9 top 10s, 6 top 5s, and a pole. But Scioli coming in 5th in points, and another one with a big opportunity for a payday. Jake Nichols, another Solar Flare driver. Watching, waiting, following what they've been able to do around multiple ends of the Speedway. And you're 40 laps into this 200 lap race. 160 laps to go. It could go by in a hurry. Deeper in the field, Aiden Swank not in the playoffs yet. He's got Adam Cabot looking for an interesting, well-rounded way to sneak his way through. Peyton Howell really hasn't left the top 10 much this race. He's mostly been hanging out around that, 7th to 12th range area. Jonathan Evans, in that same ballpark too, has not been able to make much ground on the top 5. Howell way up the racetrack, nearly smarked up the right side. Jeremy Miller in the 13th position. Brandon Bowie. Lined in as well. Scioli has not caught Hall. It's actually Jake Nichols that has caught the Scioli number 7. What's really cool about Solar Flare, they're sponsored by IDK. They changed their look very consistently. But still keeping that drafty car look, that drafty car feel. What these drivers are able to do with what they have to offer. Hey, make sure you add some life to the party this spring with Elite Entertainment, located in Bowling Green, South Carolina. Bowling Springs, South Carolina. Elite Entertainment provides high-quality band production to entertain at any location, including karaoke, singo, and more. Once again, you go to check out their link tree at Elite Entertainment LLC for all contact information. Elite Entertainment, great to see them continue to sponsor the Area Cup Series. Patrick Moose is there as well. Now let's go ahead and play a little bit of trivia. I know we're kind of breaking the 4th wall here. We're focused on what's on the track, but for so many of you that have been able to follow along kind of with what I'm doing in broadcasting will know, there's a couple tracks now on the Area Cup Series schedule that I have broadcasted at in person. What 2 tracks are there? There's 2 on the schedule. Whoever's the first one to get both of them right, get a shout out, hopefully before lap 100. Hall, Scioli, and Nichols. Oplinger. Not much change at all. We'll go deeper in the field. 2 drivers already out of the race. Barrett Polimas and Mason Kane. That'll be 34th and 35th. Tanner Betha pretty deep in the field. Garrett Grant, David Weishart, and then there's Dylan All, who has now worked his way up to the 23rd position. With a lot of damage, finds his way around Lee Noren, Ed Robertson. Robertson on the bottom. I thought it was going to be bottom heavy. Elect not. It is multi-groove as ever. There's Garrett Grant. Inside of Weishart. Tyler Nichols. Kenny Brady. Dane is close, but not there yet. Connor Horn. In the 17th position, also a highlighted driver. The long green flag runs have come. John Hall is the race leader. We continue to watch and monitor around as we are racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway. For the ones just tuning on in, we say hello and welcome. It is playoff time with the Area Cup Series as you got multiple battles around the racetrack. Remember Seth Knoll and his incident to bring out the second caution. It hasn't stopped him much because Knoll is now up to the 11th position and quickly has worked his way through this pack. And a Sogak in 13th, Jeremy Miller in 12th. Brandon Bowie in the 16th position. I was just able to get underneath him. And Dane is able to go ahead and get it right. Working lap 61, yes. Bristol in Indy. So I was going to mention this before the Indy stuff happened earlier this year. So in the month of May, it went with IndyCar Radio to radio broadcast the practice day for the Indy 500. But last year, live on Racing America, I did TV broadcast a race at Bristol Motor Speedway. It was with the street stocks. We had an A main, a B main. It was really cool. That happened in 2024. Indy happened in 2025, and there is no Milwaukee on the schedule, but Milwaukee did happen last year as well. Worked over the PA for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, as well as doing TV broadcasts with the Super Trucks and then PA with the ASA Stars National Tour. So yes, 2 tracks on the schedule with the Area Cup Series that I broadcasted in person. You're watching one of them now. You had another one earlier in the year, but it was following that Indy race that it ended up being the case. Opplinger and Turner, Josh Cottle. Cottle up to 6th. 2 cautions so far in this race. We've been clean and green ever since. And we're just watching the battles shape up. Bowie, Evans, Horn, 15th, 16th, 17th. Curhan and Alt are currently the lowest running playoff drivers. Dylan Alt back in the 22nd position. There's Adam Cabot. Seth Knoll has found a way to the back bumper. I don't know if denting in the nose made it quicker or what, but man, he is just on a tear right now. Look at that. Steps to the outside, gets the run on the inside, and will shut the door on Cabot. I don't think so. Cabot goes back wayside and brings it back to the attention of the position he was just in. There's Patrick Moose. Moose up to 7th, Cottle back to 6th. Jake Nichols has lost touch with John Hall as he is scooting away. Now, you don't expect really green flag pit stops, but where that caution came out, it's a little interesting. We know they can go about 150 laps in the tank, and I think that's some questions we're going to have to go ahead and start asking Hunter for, because we are on a nice, long green flag run. Hunter Sleppy, John Ramos. I cannot believe I'm asking this question, but could we see a fuel lottery?
No. Don't believe so.
Okay.
Was talking with Weiser right before the race started. He said, "Oh, I got 183 laps, so I'm good to go. We get some yellows, but I don't think
183. Okay.
183. I think at some point these guys are gonna have to come down and take tires, and maybe if they want to do just a splash and go on fuel, they could. Been surfing through the channels. Dylan Alt is running the top so good that some drivers are saying that he's wall riding, and that is not the case. He said it happened to him in a league quite a while back, and he was streaming for that race, so backing up his case. But Fast man on the move right now.
Yeah, he's up there in the 20th position. We're also keeping an eye on Seth Knoll, who's found his way in 8th. So 2 of the most winningest drivers in the Area Cup Series that started this race off with incidents are now looking to rebound. It sounds like he's wall riding, right? You hear that sound. It's really just because he's so dang close to the wall. iRacing is firing a code to add the sparks that he's not really hitting it. See it again. Close to the wall, not wall riding. And wall riding is frowned upon, matter of fact, with the Area Cup Series as well as NR Night in America. Trouble, Connor Horn.
Oh, and he got plowed from behind. It's Tyler Nichols. Oh, a massive pileup.
My, oh my.
Not sure who, but someone lost it in front of them, and they just arc or braked into each other on the front stretch.
And Dylan All with more damage. Wow. Caution for the 3rd time in this race. Working lap 79. And we're going to watch a replay. Horn sideways, Alt nowhere to go. Tyler Nichols, Garrett Grant, Lee Norton, Ed Robertson, Seth Berger, all piling in off the end of the front straightaway. .609 and Connor Horn. Nothing to work. Corner exit. I think he did get help. Jonathan Evans in 26. And the train cars just came together and buckled on the outside lane. Watch it again. Man. Rear tires lifted up and there they go. Hunter's getting updates from the Connor Horn side. Hunter's Sleppy. Is he in here? Yes, he is. What happened?
So Jonathan Evans just got in a little bit too deep on Connor Horn, and Evans is displeased over the radio, saying that his race is over because he's already multiple laps down. He's thinking about next week. He's going to be in a pickle. He's looking at, he already knows that he's going to get an EOL. We'll get confirmation in a couple of seconds from the admins. Talk with Connor Horn, and yeah, they just confirmed it, +2 to the 26, so I'll have an EOL for next week. Connor Horn said that he has no damage, but the problem is he's going to have to make up all that track position again.
Indeed. 82 in, 200 is the distance. Let's ride once more from Bristol. Scioli to Hall, not gonna work. Seth Knowles starts to scoot away. Trouble. Philip Groner, Justin Anasoga, Kenny Brady. Patrick Moose. Getting collected on the back straightaway, yet another yellow. The 4th one, now working lap 85. Let's see it. That happened in this range. Oh man, a lot earlier because Patrick Moose was running up front. Senesac got a piece of it as well. Watch once more. Bailey Turner underneath Patrick Moose. Josh Cottle. No, Moose just gets in the back of Anasogak, but then had to pump the brakes to where Bailey Turner got into the back of him. Max Service and Company piling on in lane. So the caution waves yet again. Pit road is open. You have takers. Man, oh man, Seth Knoll just shot out of a cannon and did not look back. Let's hear from Hunter Sleppy. You've been up and down pit road a lot in this race.
Yeah, I'm getting my cardio in for the night. It's fun. Talked with Garrett Grant. He was caught up in that wreck, and he was complaining about the IRS, and no, it's not that IRS. It's short for Independent Rear Suspension. He was caught up in that wreck, not too happy with it. Tried to talk to Bailey Turner. Really wasn't talking much. And yeah, that was about it. Nothing else to report on.
Unbelievable. And playoff drivers, I mean, they're getting their money's worth, right? You know, a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot going on. I'm not sure if they're going to give +2 to Bailey Turner for that. All it comes up is stack up for that. So no one at fault for the wreck yet.
All right. They're going to line up back 2 by 2. Knoll and Hall, Scioli and Nichols, that will be the 4 playoff drivers in the Fast 4. And we'll get ready to try this once again. Lights off on top of the pace car. Will work its way down on pit road. As we get ready to try it again. 2 by 2. Hall on the bottom, Knoll on the outside, Nichols and Scioli. Get ready to bring us back to green from Bristol. Knoll inside, gets the scoot away. It's Nichols, top side of Hall. Nichols got it. Here comes Cottle. Swank, Turner, Miller. Mostly in the vicinity. And Miller has found his way up to 9th. Oh, gets the door shut on him by the 70. Miller trying to sneak through the middle. .93 of 200. Kwame Scott into the 4th position. Scioli in 7th. Miller in 9th. Bailey Turner back to 10th. But Jake Nichols has got it rolling. Loose off turn 2. Top end of the Speedway. Can he clear? Knowles able to. Cottle, Scott, Hall, Opplinger. And the caution. Jeremy Miller. Seth Berger. Max Service, look at Miller. What seems to be annoyed with the 9. Of Tyler Nichols. Heavy damage. Rack 'em, stack 'em. We'll be ready to go again. No, I couldn't really. Oh, I don't know. I can see why he would be upset. That being Miller was parked there for possibly a good while. Watch Miller again. Let's see what happened. Him and Scioli toe-to-toe. Crossed over to Swank. And about, I want to say, 8 feet of net code made the difference between this wreck happening and not. Caution is out again here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're very thankful for all the sponsors of the Area Cup Series and the viewers that have chosen this place to be their home for entertainment on this Monday evening. Hendry County Motorsports Park returns with racing action on September 20th, with tickets starting at $20 for adults, and kids ages 5 and under are free. Bring the family to the track with the family pack of 4 at $25. Come see racing at the southernmost dirt track in America, located in Clewiston, Florida, off US Highway 27. Visit HendryRacing.com for more information. Update Hunter Sleppy. It has been a heck of a lineup of incidents. Drivers definitely upset with each other. Hunter has been hanging out with the Triforce guys. What do you got?
Yeah, so I was with Solar Flare when that wreck happened, and Scioli immediately said that has to be netcode. There's no way that wasn't netcode. And it was netcode, so they've already addressed that. Jeremy was upset, but then found out it was netcode, so it's fine on him. Garrett Grant not happy. He's caught up in another wreck, and guys just trying to buckle in, I can't speak. Buckle in, hunker down. We're getting towards halfway in the race.
Let's roll. Officially halfway in the race at Bristol. Kwame Scott up to 4th. James Scioli, Adam Cabot, Payne Howell, Brandon Bowie. Bowie backed up with Philip Groner. Michael Curran got up near that outside retaining wall. As we continue to roll around the Speedway single file, can anyone catch Seth Knoll? We've seen drivers like Hall pull away, but now under the cusp, that's a Cottle, that's a Voplinger and Hayden Swank. Scioli in the 8th position. Runs the middle, Payne Howell way up to the outside. Adam Cabot back in 10th. And then there's Jake Nichols. Scott, Cottle, and Hall, top 5. Working lap 108 at 200. Scioli in 8th, Payne Howell in 9th. Adam Cabot back to 10th, Philip Groner. Sized up nose to tail with Brandon Bowie. And then there's Lee Norton. Michael Curran. Justin Innes-Sogak, Brett Pucari. Pucari up to 16th after a near beautiful moment at Talladega where so many thought he was going to get his first win. Nichols P2, Scott P3, Connell P4. Opplinger, Swank, Scioli, Pay and Howe, Adam Cabot. There's Noel on the bottom. Nichols top side, Seth Knoll inside. Hall and Cottle. Nose to tail, inside part of the racetrack. Kwame Scott, you see him now inching closer and closer to the outside retaining wall. Lap 116 at 200. Crossover John underneath. And John Hall is now on the momentum. He's up to third. Jake Nichols, Seth Knoll. This is the race for the lead. $119 at 200. Groner in 11th, Bowie in 12th, Norton and Curran. Drivers out of the race. And the first one that to be a playoff driver, Dylan Alt, gone, 33rd. And it's going to be an uphill climb from him since a race at Bristol he didn't want to see. There's Nichols in service on pit road. Kenny Brady, Barrett Polimas, and Mason Kane have also retired from the event. Fight for the race lead. Knoll, Nichols, and Hall. They're trying. You can see him back to the inside, back to the outside. Trying it again. Where do you roam? Where do you run? Then there's Hall again. Seth Knoll inside, Jake Nichols outside, Sean Hall and company. Top three all playoff guys, Scioli, Howe, 8th and 9th. They really have not left this area of the leaderboard. There's Adam Cabot back in 10th, Philip Groner. Non-playoff driver in 11th. And Brandon Bowie's got to be thinking to himself, if we can just get a top 10 here, we can look really good heading to Nashville. Nichols, Knoll, John Hall. They seem to just trying their hardest, whatever it takes. Look at Hall get up near the outside wall. Fighting the good fight. Nichols up high. Seeing what they can work with. John Hall, can he get him? Lap traffic soon to be an issue. Oh, man. All under Nichols. Another swing. I'm telling you, Seth Knoll is doing a great job keeping these guys behind, but this battle for second, I mean, it's shaping up pretty well. You just don't want to see them wreck. The second they wreck, you got to resack the field. Top three all playoff drivers, 8th, 9th, and 10th, all playoff drivers. The meat and the sandwich of the front runners are the drivers that finish outside the top 12 in the points of the regular season. John Hall at it again. So Nichols will hold on a second. Lap traffic play into place. That's Senesac, that's Miller, all ahead of the Seth Knoll machine. You're watching with just about 60 laps to go. You got to find a groove. You got to find an opportunity that works for you. Here's deeper in the field. Howland Cabot. Philip Groner there in 11th. And it is on from Bristol. Look at the squeeze by Cabot through the middle. Hayden Swank. James Scioli. Man, oh man. What they have been able to do. Knoll, bottom side of the track. Not tearing up the tires. Running fast indeed. How about rickshotsauce.com for some of the best hot sauce made locally in South Florida? Try garlic, golden garlic, Palm Beach pineapple, or South Beachy. Follow the Rick's Hot Sauce Rookie of the Year Battle in the Area Cup Series to see which driver takes home the $100 prize as the highest finishing rookie in the points. Unfortunately, we don't have the 20 on track today to show off the beautiful Rick's Hot Sauce machine. Nonetheless, an outstanding race we have. Top three under half a second. Kwame Scott back and forth. Josh Connell back in fifth. .52 to go. John Hall is there. To the inside of Nichols. Doing what he can to grab a position. Weishart clears. Seth Knoll. 50 laps of perfection, that's what he needs. To hold the statement in Thunder Valley, John Hall has just been on a tear. Top 10 is shuffled. There's Payne Howell in 10th, Lee Noren, Adam Cabot, Michael Curran, Patrick Moose back in 14th, Connor Horn, Bailey Turner. Oh, Horn got right into the outside wall. Keep an eye on Bowie, now back to 18th. A big shuffle of speed has taken place outside of the top 10. We'll continue to monitor. Kwame Scott, James Scioli. Payne Howell, Philip Groner. Groner in the 9th position. Patrick Moose, Bailey Turner, Seth Berger. Not a lot of room to work with. 42 laps to go in this race. And oh man, it has really shuffled speed. The big three are sitting 1, 2, 3. Knoll, Nichols, and Hall. An opportunity here from Hunter Sleppy. Hunter, an update.
Hello. A lot of guys, it was quiet over there, but over the run, more guys are starting to complain about, again, how realistic the update to Bristol is, and with the next gen. Guys are complaining that, and Skyler in particular, that you can get around guys, but after that, there's like a bubble of air in between the next car in front of you, and you can't go anywhere. And Ben Pierce, shout out Ben Pierce, he wanted me to make it an effort to let everybody know how realistic the next gen is at Bristol Motor Speedway. It is exactly like the next gen in real life.
Man, how about it?
Yeah, and
are they expecting any more cautions?
No, not really. They're just kind of running around until a caution does come out. Some guys want a yellow, and Sogak was upset with another driver, and he said, I think I ruined his race. Didn't specify on who it was, but there was that. But other than that, everybody else is quiet over there.
Indeed. Big update there for Hunter Sleppy. 37 laps to go. The laps continue to tick away. There's Knoll, there's Nichols, and Hall. Sitting 1, 2, 3. Kwame Scott back and forth. Josh Cottle hangs out in the 5th position behind him. Justin Opplinger in 6th. James Scioli in 7th. And there's Hayden Swank running in the 8th position. Philip Groner might be able to grab this position. Oh, a blink there actually by Swank in 70. Nonetheless, Swank has been having one heck of a race. A top 10 soon to be added if he can hold on to the positions currently in place. He will drop back to 9th if Groner is able to clear. He's got him. Cabot's back in 10th. There's Jake Nichols, there's Kwame Scott, and there's John Hall just underneath the Kwame Scott 36. Hall in 4th. Scott in 3rd. 32 to go. Seth Knoll Company, all lap traffic. They navigate to the bottom side of the racetrack, and Knoll will take the long way around. John Hall falls back to 4th. What does Kwame Scott have for a late race charge? It's going to be about 30 to go. He's a second back. Let's look at the lap for lap on the bottom and see what he's improved on. This is all in lap traffic for Kwame Scott. Well, lap traffic and then just race traffic in general has been on the up and up. When he's challenging a machine, he still draws about even with Seth Knoll. I don't think it's over for Kwame Scott. Let's go ahead and see if he can grab a win this year. Underneath Jake Nichols again, not that time around. Nichols far side of the racetrack. Kwame Scott inside. Oh, nearly just rubbed doors. Has Brandon Bowie, a playoff contender, ahead. Kwame Scott. He's got him. Scott the second. And now has to make up over a second and a couple tenths. Brandon Bowie lets him go. Jake Nichols will find his way around the 54. 25 laps. Can Kwame Scott find his way around Seth Knoll? Knoll's got traffic too. There's Bailey Turner, playoff driver. Jeremy Miller in 30. The 609 guy. And it gets to about a second. Kwame didn't really have to challenge anyone. You expect the lap traffic to possibly pull to the side and let Scott go on by, mainly because now they're already a lap down. But then again, if we get a caution, this could be for the free pass position, so Miller still wants to race his 609 teammate in the 67, Connor Horn, and the other drivers that surround. 23 to go. We all wonder, can a non-playoff driver knock off the playoff drivers in round one? To do it. Nichols and Hall, Opplinger, Scioli. That's about a second and a half. Is there more lap traffic ahead of Knoll? Not at all. With 19 to go, Turner won't get out of the way. Howell is there. These two are racing for position. Oh, man, Scott really had to get dicey on the outside. Find his way through. Now it's to make up nearly a second and a half. With 17 to go. Knoll, the leader. $15 coming to 14. He's closing. I mean, I don't think it's over. Kwame Scott's trying to make a roll at Seth Knoll. And lap for lap on pace. I mean, Scott is quicker in clean air. And that was a 2/10 charge just that lap alone. 12 to go. And Knoll now knows he's going to have company. Less than a second the difference. Could it be a crucial win for Solar Flare? Or a non-playoff driver spoiling the party? And just the top 13 remain. Berger, Moose, Swank. What they've been able to do. Lap traffic for Knoll. Oh, he gets into Moose. Moose is sideways in front of the field. Caution will wave with 10 laps to go from Bristol. And no impactful damage to the 34. We're just cutting away to look at Scott. My, oh my. Buckle up. That laptop, tablet, TV, whatever you're watching this on, because it's soon to go for a ride. They'll come to pit road. We're going to watch a replay. Berger on the bottom, 77. Knoll just slips up the track and just a little bit of net code. Will take this race for a whirl. Knoll, the race leader as of this moment. He stays out. John Hall will stay out. Kwame Scott will come to pit road. Hunter Sleppy, crucial update.
Yeah, very crucial. I was talking with Solid Rock Performance. What's left of them is just John Hall, Patrick Moose. They were saying, well, John was saying that he's okay with this race going green to the end. A lot of guys were wanting a yellow. And then that happened, and Patrick Moose was confused. He questioned if the one dumped him or not. That didn't happen. It was netcode, and even Seth Nolan was a little confused by that as well. And then Solar First was talking strategy. It's going to be chaotic to the end. I mean, we've already seen how some of these restarts go right afterwards, and so we usually get a yellow on average around 10 to go or less. Yellow came out with about 9 to go, so These guys got to buckle in and hope for the best that they don't get caught up in an incident. At least if you're a playoff driver.
Indeed. Lights off on top of the pace car. Don't miss the moment, because it's just 5 laps to go from Bristol. Seth Knoll, John Hall, Philip Groner, Kwame Scott, Matt Green and Thunder Valley. Top 2 have led laps already in this race. Now they dance for the lead. Scott up the gut, finds his way around Hall. Can he get to Knoll? Knoll the drive off 2. Scott to the inside, they make contact. New race leader Scott, around goes Scioli. And another playoff driver bites the dust. We're headed to overtime. Heavy damage to the left rear. It looks like it wants to crab walk. Let's see. It's been the netcode Bristol race, I'll tell you that. I mean, I saw daylight in between the 7 and the John Hall machine. And honestly, these new tracks have just had that effect. My, oh my. And we're going to have a restart. Scioli to pit road. Hunter, an update.
Yeah, we're going overtime, and the 7 to Scioli, just no real emotion, not distraught, not angry, just kind of neutral about the situation. Said he didn't know what happened. Just disappointing. So he pitted because he questioned whether he should pit for tires or not, but with how many cars are on the lead lap, wouldn't really hurt. That was the call that Solar Flare went with. They tried to stay out, but the newer tires just proved too much, especially in the short going. That's why we saw Kwame Scott go up and potentially can upset the playoff drivers with a win in just a handful of laps.
We'll get ready to see it again. Kwame Scott, Seth Knoll, lights off on top of the pace car, which means it's time to ride again. Will be 2 laps to go to see who finds victory lane for Bristol. Pace car the hard left. Chevy on Toyota. Scott the jump out of the gate. Knoll may have to clear. Josh Cottle is right there. Salamanca, 1 to go for Bristol. Does Cottle use the bumper? And Kwame's got to open it up wide. Here they come. Final time, 3 and 4. Cottle to the inside. On the gas. Won't be enough. Kwame Scott victorious from Thunder Valley. Knoll finishes 3rd. Uplinger finishes 4th. And the non-playoff drivers go 1-2 and spoil the party. Knoll, the highest finishing playoff driver, finishing 3rd. Jake Nichols finishes 5th, Uplinger in 4th, and just because you didn't make the postseason doesn't mean you can't go to victory lane. Kwame Scott tears it down and burns them down in Bristol. Just unreal stuff. Enter Night in America, League Night in America, feeling victories all year long. Watch that replay. You'll see it on the bottom while we go interview the race winner. Big time win, Kwame Scott. It started with the restart and the jump. Congratulations.
Thank you. That one felt good. I haven't really been racing in this league full time. So, and also like starting with the EOL right there. It feels good to just come from the back and somehow win the whole thing. That was that was good.
It was exciting indeed. Matter of fact, I love that, how you had to go from the back to the front and you were chasing the driver, or should we say pulling away from the driver. That started in the first position. Others also led multiple laps. Your strategy, the comeback from nearly 2 seconds back with about 25 laps to go, and then that caution. Talk about that whole final sequence.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just, it's so hard to pass here, and the whole time I was just making sure I was rolling into the corner, taking care of my tires. So I wasn't really wasn't worried too much about the gap that they were expanding in front of me. I just really wanted to make sure I was there for the end. And honestly, I think I timed that perfectly. I was a little bit worried about the caution, but I was gonna do whatever Seth didn't, basically, and he stayed out. So I took 2 tires, and yeah, they just had nothing for me. So I think I played that perfectly.
Wow. It's just unbelievable how you've been able to go ahead and make that work. And at the end of the race, they're chasing you, right? Did you think Cottle was possibly going to get to you at any point?
I didn't really focus on behind me, to be honest. I was just eyes front the whole entire time. So I honestly really didn't know. My goal was to win that race, and it worked out for us. Yeah, no, this one feels good. It's been a while since I've won anything. So to get my first area win here for Tank Racing, these guys, Max, Reese, Seth, all those guys, this feels good. Hopefully I can take this momentum into Coke tomorrow.
Oh, indeed. And you just came from Pocono, right? How was that?
I did. It was awesome, man. I met Dale Jr. Dale Jr. actually knew who I was. I saw that on social media. Amazing. It's been a great weekend, and to top it off with an area win, it's been a good week.
It's been a great time to be Kwame Scott. How about it? Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is Kwame Scott, the winner here at Bristol. Josh Cottle, oh, it was so close, man. Lucky Duck about to get a win, and you backed out of the throttle, right? And rightfully so, out of respect. From first to the back, and then right back up there when you needed it to be. Congratulations, P2.
I appreciate it, man. Absolutely, I was not going to wreck him for it. I could have, but there's no point. I'm not sure how his points are, or I'm not really sure what the points are, and I don't want to affect anybody else's race in the bad or negative way. So I just wanted to get as close as possible. But man, I was feeling it. I was getting nervous, but very happy with the P2, my best finish of the season.
And it came really in a way where all you're doing now is trophy hunting, right? Did that kind of change your thought process, knowing I don't have to worry about points anymore?
Sort of. I knew I could, relax a little bit more, but also I've just been struggling so bad on these other tracks that when we get back to a short track where I'm, familiar with, I'm just happy to be here. I feel really comfortable. I got my first ever career pole, and I think I had a really fast hot rod. I think Seth was obviously better, but I got a little lucky on that restart.
All right, congratulations on P2. What do you want to say to these people watching back at home?
Oh yeah, man, I want to appreciate you for doing the broadcast, man. I hope that was exciting. I tried to make it exciting as close as possible without wrecking them, but it was a fun race. Thank you to the Lucky Duck guys, John Peel as well, for believing in me in this season. Hope I made him proud by running second. I was trying to get him a trophy, but I got close. But we'll have many more attempts. Cobble Chassis, Doug Denise for the beautiful hot rod Tiltify, all the other Lucky Duck guys that always help me out.
Many more indeed. Congratulations, Josh.
I appreciate it, man.
P2 and Seth Knoll, my goodness, Seth Knoll from the inside wall, but running up front to coming back forward. You got the race won, and then the netcode incident. Walk us through just this up and down Bristol race, and still a P3 highest finishing playoff driver.
Yeah, we had the pace tonight. That's not a doubt. It's just too many mistakes. I mean, way too many mistakes to win that race. Apologies to Pat. Apologies to the field for the second yellow. Just not good enough for me. But I mean, the JWR car was not bad. Appreciate Elite coming on this week. Have them on for the rest of the playoffs. See what we can do forward. I mean, we were quick. It's just too many mistakes. I got the Pat, and as soon as I got the Pat, Berger got to his inside. Berger was rolling the bottom, so Kwame's pace was quick enough that I tried to charge past him quick and just wrecked Pat. Set myself up for the late race restarts and chose wrong on the strategy.
Well, at the end of the day, though, a win it isn't. Playoff points, it very much is. Do you hang your head high knowing you're going to Nashville?
I don't know what the point situation is, but I guess the goal next week is by top 20, I assume. It's typically how it is when you win the regular season, you put yourself in a good spot. Just wanted to win at Bristol, man. I love this track so much that I pushed really hard to try and win that one, and to not come away with a W is disappointing.
Indeed it is, but congratulations on P3.
Appreciate you.
That is Seth Knoll, and that rounds out the top 3 drivers. We're going to get into the unofficial results in just a moment, but we do want to thank Victory Fuel. They celebrate tonight's victory, and you should too with Victory Fuel. Choose from caffeine-free flavors like Throttle Punch, Purple Potion, or Lucky Lemon. Each can is packed with electrolytes, charged with vitamins, and kid-friendly. Get 10% off your order with code AREA iRacing at checkout. Let's get ready to go ahead and run it down. You'll see the results on your screen. Kwame Scott is your race winner. Josh Cottle, Seth Knoll, Justin Opplinger, Jake Nichols, Hall, Curran, Cabot, Groner, and Berger, the top 10. Bailey Turner, Hayden Swank, James Scioli with Payne Howell, the final drivers that finished on the lead lap, as Brandon Bowie, Patrick Moose, Justin Sogak, Connor Horn, Ed Robertson, and Garrett Grant run out the top 20. Reese Schaefer, Brett Puncari, David Weishart, and Jonathan Evans, 24th. Bryce Senesac, 25th. And they continue to run down as Jeremy Miller, Ben Pierce, Lee Norton, Tanner Betha, and Tyler Nichols make up the next drivers running up inside the top 30. Can't forget the final 5 drivers of Max Service, Kenny Brady, Dylan Alt, and Barrett Polimas with Mason Kane. Kane, an early incident. Dylan Alt, the lowest running playoff driver, with the one of Seth Knoll being the highest. Race fans, we'll see you next week with more area racing. NR Night in America might, big MIGHT, that's how you know it's late, might happen tomorrow. We'll give you an update in the Discord. Make sure you join the Discord. Link to that is in the description below. And we will be giving those updates out tomorrow. From Bristol Motor Speedway, I'm John Ramos. Was alongside that of Hunter Sleppy saying so long. We'll see you all real soon.